Hey guys, Davin here at brewbits.com. Behind the camera as usual we've got James. Say hello James. I thought today then I would brew up a Festival Woodland Citra Session IPA. This is a clone of the Oakham's Citra Session IPA. And so I thought I would brew one up because I like a nice citrusy beer. So it's a lovely citrusy beer with a light malt background, and we're going to need a few other bits and bobs to brew it up. We're going to need a brewing bucket, going to need some cleaner sterilizer to sterilize everything. I've got my hydrometer, my trial jar here, I've got a thermometer, I've got my stirry spoon, I've got a siphon, and I've got something to put it in afterwards, some bottles. So now we've got all that going, let's get brewing. In here, we have a few things. We have got some hop pellets. Presumably they're going to be lots and lots of citra. We've got some instructions, we've got some yeast. We got some priming sugar for when we put it in our bottles. We've got a big bag of dextrose, well, not that big, 350 grams, okay. And then we've got this pouch, and this is our liquid malt extract for our Woodland Citra. So the first thing I'm going to do is very quickly grab my plug, pull off a sink full of hot water, and we're going to drop this into the hot water for about 10 minutes because this is quite thick and gloopy as it is right now, and it's going to make it a little bit more runny if we warm it up a bit. So into the sink with hot water for about 10 minutes. So whilst this is warming up in the sink, I'm going to sterilize my equipment, and I'm going to put the kettle on because we need about 2 litres of boiling water. Ow, that was a bit hot. The liquid malt extract's been in the sink now for a good 10 minutes. So just going to give it a quick wipe down. And all we're going to do now is snip the top off. Open up the top. You might get a little bit of gooey fingers, but not too much of a problem. And then let it pour down in. Lovely. And the first thing I'm going to do, because in here is still loads of liquid malt extract, so I'm going to very carefully pour some of my boiling water, and I got a very drippy jug, into my pouch. Not all of it. And with my long spoon, wherever I've done with my long spoon, guess where it is? It's in my bucket. With my long spoon, I'm going to get in here, holding on to the pouch to give it some stability, and give it a good mixing around. Get it up the edges as well to try and get all the liquid malt extract that's in here out. And it might take a couple of goes with some hot water for you to do that. So okay, first go is no. Hard. It's not usually that hot. What have I done with my tea towel? That is particularly hot today. So grab hold of the tea towel. In it goes. And there's still a fair bit up the sides, so I'm going to have another go up the sides with a bit more water. So that's the pouch lovely empty. So I'm going to put the rest of the water in there, because that's 2 litres. And I'm going to need to pop the kettle back on again, because in total we need 3 litres of boiling water. Now the kettle's coming up to the boil, we're going to take our bag of sugar. I'm just going to pour this in as well. Ta-da! So now for the final litre of boiling water. There we go, I got a little mark on my jug so I know where that is. In that goes. And now give it a good stir to mix all the liquid malt extract, the sugar and the water together till it's combined. Lovely, it's all lovely and combined. Nice little bit of a foamy head. So now we need to top it up to 20 litres with cold tap water. There we go, nice and easy. We're now at the 20 litre mark. And you can see down at the bottom we got all the liquid malt extract, and up at the top we've got some very light coloured water. So next thing we need to do is give it a really good mix to mix all that liquid malt extract and that cold water together. Now it's all mixed in, we just need to do a quick temperature check to make sure it's ready to receive the yeast. And it is. It's coming out at just about 20 degrees C. Perfect. So the next thing to do is take a sample to check the hydrometer reading. So I'm just going to take a bit simple at this. I know I never normally show this on video, but I thought I'd show you how I do it. I've got myself kind of a little baster, as they call them. Or you can call it a large bit of pet, whichever you want to. And so let's have a look at this. Once we got rid of, looking through some foamy stuff, it's coming out at 1.044 by the looks of that. Beautiful. 1.044, so we'll note that down and then we can keep a note of that so that we can work out the alcoholic content once it's finished fermenting. And the last thing to do is find the packet of yeast. Pop the packet of yeast open and sprinkle this on. All we need to do now, pop the lid on and pop this in my warm place, about 18 to 22 degrees C of a constant temperature for the next 5 days. It's been 5 days since we started the Woodland Citra going, so now it's time to add the packet of hops. And I've got the packet of hops just here, but it's still foaming away, it's still lovely and frothy, it's still fermenting really well. Now, it does say to add the hops straight in on top of that foam, but I don't like to do that because what tends to happen is these hops will soak up a huge amount of beer and it will settle down to the bottom eventually, and you'll lose about 2, 3, 4 pints into the hops that you can never ever get back. So the way I like to do it is here I've got a straining bag. Where's the opening end? Over there. So here I've got a straining bag and it's in a saucepan because I've just put it on the hob in boiled it for a couple of minutes in some sterilizing solution. And I put the hops into here and then it works a bit like a tea bag. All those are lovely Citra hops ready to go in. And it means that when we take this out at the end, we're going to be able to squeeze all the beer back out of these hops and we're going to end up with a lot more beer. But at the same time, the tea bag allows all those lovely hop aromas to get infused. Okay, there we go. Now that's literally just going to go in like that. Get it, dunk it down through, make sure it goes down through. It makes it sink. There we go. So lid back on and back into my warm place for a few more days. Woodland Citra has been sat in my warm cupboard now for the last 10 days. So I've taken a sample in my trial jar and the hydrometer is showing it's coming out at 1.010. So now we know it's time to move on. And just like I told you, in here we've got the bag of hops. And this is going to make life a little bit easier because we can now lift it up. All of those, the aromas are fantastic already just coming out of here. So got my sterilized bucket down here. And so we're just going to transfer it over. And so these hops have soaked up a huge amount of beer and they've still got a load of flavor in them. So give it a good squeeze out and get that beer and that color out of those hops. I know I've just done it with my hands. My hands are pretty clean. But if you want to, you can use a pair of gloves, like nitrile gloves, rubber gloves sort of thing. Right, so the next thing I need is my siphon. And here I've got my siphon, and into the top of the beer it goes. Good quick suck, and let it flow. Our next thing to do is add our priming sugar, because I'm going to be bottling these, and so I want a little bit of fizz in the bottle. So there's 100 grams of priming sugar here, which is going to give it a little bit of a fizz. If you want it to be a little bit fizzier, then you can always add some more. And just to make it easier to dissolve it, I've got a little bowl and I've boiled my kettle, and I'm just going to use a little bit of boiling water and a spoon to give it a good stir and help it dissolve a little bit, rather than popping it in the bucket and giving it a good long stirring. Now that's dissolved, we can pop it straight in, like so, and we can give it a gentle stir just to mix it all in. I've got all my bottles sterilised, cleaned and ready to go. So I'm going to now start bottling these, and I'm going to be using my little bottler. This fits on my tap down here, but you can also get these. We sell these in the shop that you can fit on the end of your siphon. And there we go, nice and easy little setup. Turn the tap on, lift the bottle up and let it flow. As soon as it reaches the top, drop the bottle down, and that's the first bottle filled up. One bottle done, just a few more to go. So that's it. I've finished bottling the Woodland Citra, and I've also put some here in a little mini keg so I can have it on draft. And all we need to do now is pop this into a nice warm place, back into my warm cupboard for about 7 to 14 days to allow the secondary fermentation to occur. And that's going to create lots and lots of fizz and bubbles in this beer, so that makes it nice and fizzy. Then we're going to take it and pop it in my garage somewhere nice and cool for about another 2 to 3 weeks until it clears, and then pop one in the fridge and pop it open and enjoy a nice bottle of Woodland Citra. I will do a taste test video in the near future of the Woodland Citra Session IPA against its clone, or against the real beer, the Oakham Citra Session IPA, and we'll compare them, see how they turn out and see which one's nicer. But there you go, nice and easy. Citra, as Woodland Citra, even from Festival Beer Kit. Go make one. They're available on our website. If you've made one, down in the comments below, let me know how yours has turned out. If you're going to do anything slightly different, or if you made any changes to the process, again, let me know. But for now, that's it. I'm going to pop these in my warm place, and hopefully in a few weeks' time, enjoy a nice bottle of Woodland Citra. But for now, cheers and happy brewing, and see you on the next video.